I'm looking at this payback card, right? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, most of these matches have little to no build-up whatsoever. It's like, why are you doing a pay-per-view the week after you just did a Big Four pay-per-view? You know what I mean? I'm looking at them announcing payback, and I'm like, dang, why are they not doing payback? I don't even know. Because, dude, usually after this, ain't Night of Champions usually after Clash of the Champions? That's usually after SummerSlam. Why are you doing payback? And now the next pay-per-views in the next few weeks, which will, again, Clash of the Champions, will probably be at the end of the month. You're probably going to do Hell in a Cell next month, and I don't even know how you're going to do Hell in a Cell. Then you got to do Survivor Series the next month. Then you got to do TLC. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let us get to this WWE payback predictions. Obviously, I'm going to start it off with Bayley and Sasha Banks defending. You know what? Never mind. Scratch it off. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about the single matches and then go into the championship matches. Anyway, so we have Big E versus Sheamus. Obviously, last night on Friday Night SmackDown, Sheamus walked out on the Miz and John Morrison, resulting in Big E and Heavy Machinery picking up the win. Obviously, this is going to be a pretty good physical match. I love Sheamus and I love Big E. But obviously, this whole story is can Big E do it? You know what I mean? Can Big E get the big push? Can he do good without the New Day, being with him? So I got Big E winning this one. And then the next singles match we have is a match that these two been going on for weeks since Matt Riddle's been coming to SmackDown, King Corbin. And obviously, this is going to be a pretty easy win for Matt Riddle. Obviously, I think the WWE sees a lot in Matt Riddle. This is going to be another loss that King Corbin is going to take, and this is going to be a W for Matt Riddle. So I have Matt Riddle winning this one. Anyways, the next singles match we have is Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. And, I want to give my opinion on Keith Lee, if I can, just for a little moment. So everybody's been talking about Keith Lee, and everyone's been talking about how this past week Keith Lee is buried. Keith Lee, is buried. They changed his theme song. Oh my goodness, his attire looked weird. Oh my goodness, look how he got almost beat by Randy Orton. Keith Lee is buried. Keith Lee is buried, right? He's on Monday Night Raw. He's facing Randy Orton. 14-time world champion, future Hall of Famer, WrestleMania main eventer. No, but we got to call him, but no, he's buried. Now, I'll give him, I'll cut him some slack. Did the theme song suck? Yeah. Did the attire look good? No. But just because his theme song was bad and just because the attire was not good doesn't mean Keith Lee is buried, people. You can't say the person was buried just because the dude's theme song changed. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, you can't. God, it's just frustrating. But nah. So if you were to ask me, DC Wrestling, do you believe Keith Lee is buried? No, I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that Keith Lee is buried. Keith Lee is not buried. Keith Lee is going to do just fine. Not many guys coming up from NXT can say that in their very first feud, their very first match, they are facing a legend. We all know that Randy Orton is a legend. He's a legend killer and he is a future Hall of Famer. Keith Lee is stepping in the ring with that man in Randy Orton. Will he win? No, because obviously WWE is still going to do Randy Orton most likely, and Drew, they're going to run it back at most likely at the next pay-per-view Clash of Champions. But this is going to be a way they're going to, Keith Lee is going to be in here, he's going to be the big underdog, and he's going to prove to the world that, hey, I'm Keith Lee, damn it, and I'm here to stay. You know what I mean? John Cena didn't beat Kurt Angle in his first match, and look where John Cena's at now. Almost everyone thinks he's the greatest of all time. Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling, or WWE. Now, so that's who I think is going to win the match, Randy Orton. Now, we're going to move into the tag team match between Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy and Murphy. And it's crazy, man, because Dominic Mysterio, man, the dude has, already has 3 matches. He fought at SummerSlam, he fought the night after, even though Retribution came in, and now he's going to fight again. I think Dominic Mysterio, his performance was good in SummerSlam. I thought his performance when Rollins was really good. And I got hyped for this kid. I think this kid is going to really be good in the future. He's still learning. We obviously saw in Raw. He's still learning. He's still a beginner. But Dominic is going to work his way up. You know what I mean? It just sucks because in a couple of years, we're all going to be moaning, bitching, and complaining that Dominic's basically the face of the company because he's Rey Mysterio's son. You know what I mean? Years ago, we were all talking about how Charlotte's the future of the company, and Charlotte's here main eventing WrestleMania, winning titles left and right, back and forth, and we're all tripping that she's in the main event because she's the daughter of one of the greatest of all time, and Ric Flair. If that makes any sense to anyone watching this video. So, if I had to pick, I think Dominic and Rey Mysterio are going to win this match over the greater good that is Seth Rollins and Murphy, and not Austin Theory, because Austin Theory's on NXT now because we saw him. Anyways, so we have another tag team match. We have the tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. We have Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And it's weird because Shayna Baszler and Nia, they don't like each other. They despise each other, obviously. But they're working together to take out Bayley and Sasha Banks and win the Women's Tag Team Championships. Me personally, I don't really care about the Women's Tag Team Championships. I think the Women's Tag Team Championships, and it sucks what happened because when the WWE debuted the Women's Tag Team Championships in December, January 2018, or 2019, which month. But when they introduced the titles and when they were announced, we were all excited. They were like, "Oh my God, this is so good for the women! Just the next step into the women's evolution." And what they did with the Women's Tag Team Championships, they completely devalued the championship. They said that they can go anywhere. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, main event, 205, it doesn't matter. Bayley and Sasha were champions. They won the title elimination chamber. And when they lost, it made them look like fools. It made them look dumb, and they weren't booked as strong. And that's what I hate when WWE books their champions wrong. I hate how when a person gets a push right, they're dominant, they're rising up, and they're unstoppable, they're unbeatable. But as soon as they win the championship, they are devalued. They are not booked as strong as they were when they get pushed. When Kofi won the title by SummerSlam, everybody said that Kofi needs to lose the title to Randy Orton. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, Apollo Crews' reign, and I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but Apollo Crews' U.S. title reign has been a little bit lackluster in my opinion because, number one, he's been feuding with the Hurt Business the whole time. And number two, they haven't really been booking them like the champion, the underdog, Apollo, not Apollo Creed, but Apollo Crews, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, they're going to lose. Bayley and Sasha Banks, my apology, folks. They're going to lose the Women Tag Team Championships because their breakup, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. Because we've all been waiting for 5 years for this match to happen. And the sad thing, and I pray that hope doesn't happen, that this match does not succeed our expectations. You know what I mean? And I know you're probably thinking, how are you still interested in this feud? I just am, dude. Just am. Sasha is obviously upset over losing the Raw Championship, the Raw Women's Championship. And in my personal opinion, something's going to happen. It's going to cause them to lose the titles. And Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, obviously not on the same type of team mentality, but Shayna Baszler and Nia are going to win the Women Tag Team Championships this Sunday. I'll be surprised if Bayley and Sasha still retain. Anyway, so we have the United States Championship on the line between Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley. Guys, it's time that Bobby Lashley wins this match. I think Lashley needs to win. Lashley needs to go over. I hate it because I love Apollo Crews, but they haven't done really nothing with Apollo Crews. And let's all be real. When Apollo Crews loses the United States Championship, he is going to go back to where he was when he first started. He's going to go back, well, I hope he doesn't, but he's most likely going to go back to being the same jobber, being on main event, jobbing, most likely going after the 24/7 championship and all that before he did go after the United States Championship. And it sucks because WWE, as much as I love the Thunderdome and I love what they're doing, with these new things, they have to create new stars. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for a long time. Jon Moxley, you may not like him, and I'm not really a huge fan of Dave Meltzer, but Moxley's right. When he was on Dave Meltzer's interview, whatever they did, the Wrestling News Observer, WWE needs to create new stars, and they haven't been able to do that. You cannot attend to the same people over and over again because it's going to get boring. You have to create new stars. But the WWE is like, oh no, we have to, you know what I mean? No, come on. They're bringing these old legends in instead of building the talent. No, we got to bring in Goldberg. We got to bring in Undertaker. Oh boy, say if Stone Cold gets his neck cleared, we got to bring in Stone Cold. We got to bring in Rocky for the ratings to improve. Why? Just for a week or two? But then again, the Thunderdome, pretty cool. So yeah, but that's my little whole take on that. But Bobby Lashley, he gonna win the United States Championship. Sorry, Apollo, it's Bobby Lashley's time. All right, so we have the main event. We have the WWE Universal Championship in a no-holds-barred triple threat match. And the reason why I chuckle at that is because why are you calling it no-holds-barred? It's a triple threat match. A triple threat match has no disqualification, no count out. Either triple threat, no holds barred, it's going to be no rules. It's going to be no holds barred. That don't make sense, you know what I mean? But I guess because it's three monsters that we might as well give an even bigger name besides triple threat. Let's call it no holds barred triple threat. Make it more sound dangerous. You got three monsters coming in. The Fiend versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. And Christ almighty, I wished, now that Reigns is back, because let's be real, No one knew Reigns was coming at SummerSlam. No one knew he was going to show up. No one knew he was going to attack The Fiend. No one knew he was going to attack Strowman. And no one knew he was going to do what he was going to do. Trust me, no one didn't know that he was going to be a Paul Heyman guy. And yes, Roman Reigns, as of last night, is a Paul Heyman guy because Roman Reigns has allied himself with Paul Heyman. And dudes, I've said it before and I've said it again. A Roman Reigns heel turn is good for Roman Reigns. This helps Roman Reigns get his stock back up. It's just a shame now all the fans are going to be cheering him when they're supposed to be booing him. And that's what I hate about heels these days. They don't get the proper heel heat they're supposed to get. If MJF is going to win the AEW championship and he's going to get cheered out the building when he's supposed to get booed. Tommaso Ciampa is a perfect example of a heel who got heel heat. He got heel heat. He killed Johnny Gargano and he got booed out of New Orleans at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. But this is not about NXT. This is about Payback. Having Roman being with Paul Heyman, aligning himself with Paul Heyman, one of the greatest guys to ever touch a mic in wrestling, Paul Heyman. This is going to help Roman Reigns a lot, in my opinion. And I kind of find it funny that Paul Heyman's on SmackDown and AJ's on SmackDown, and AJ was talking about how he wanted to get away. That's why he wanted to come to SmackDown because he was tired of Paul Heyman on Raw. Now Paul Heyman's on SmackDown. Now AJ probably want to go back to Raw or probably go to NXT. Hey, I'm down for AJ going to NXT, low key. He'll have some good matches down there. Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, sequel, you name it. So, back to the real subject at hand here. If I knew Reigns was showing up at SummerSlam, I would have had Strowman retain the title. I would have had it be a normal match. Reigns comes in, does what he does, and have the match end by disqualification. And then you have the triple threat match, and you have Roman pin Strowman, and Roman wins the title from Braun. That way the Fiend doesn't have to worry about holding it on for a week, and that the fans won't be in the comment section. The fans won't be on Twitter. The fans won't be all over social media crying and complaining how the Fiend is this transitional champion and you ruined the Fiend again. But, and I don't know. So, I don't know. It sucks because now the Fiend is going to be a transitional champion, and I love the Fiend, even though I'm digging this heel Roman, the badass Samoan that we all loved when he was with the Shield, when they were heels. Now the Fiend's going to have to lose. And it's not his fault. Reigns is on fire, obviously. It's Roman Reigns' time. And come on. And for everyone that's going to be, why does Roman deserve to be champion? Roman doesn't deserve to be champion. Roman Reigns, face or heel, has not won a championship in 2 years, people. This man has not held a championship on his shoulder since October 22nd of 2018 when he first had to announce it due to having real-life cancer. But no, he doesn't deserve the Universal Championship. He doesn't deserve any championship, right? Speaking of cancer, RIP to Chadwick Boseman, by the way, Black Panther, Wakanda forever. But Roman Reigns, I love the Fiend. Strowman, I feel bad what happened to Strowman. Everybody was loving Strowman. Everyone basically hates Strowman. And poor Strowman, he took the pinfall on Sunday, and now he has to take the pinfall again. But Roman Reigns is winning the Universal Championship. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can cry you want to. You can go in the comment section and talk about how you're not going to watch Friday Night SmackDown, but yet you're tuning in to Friday Night SmackDown the next Friday night, how you're done watching the WWE, yet you're signing up for Thunderdome the very next day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. Roman Reigns is going to win the Universal Championship this Sunday. Strowman taking the pinfall, and there is nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing none of us wrestling fans can do about it, but just sit and watch and critique as Roman Reigns wins the Universal Championship with Paul Heyman raising his hand. The reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion, the big dog, Roman Reigns. That is what you're going to hear tomorrow night. Not Braun Strowman, not The Fiend, Roman Reigns.